Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Boy, we just entered some interesting times over the weekend, haven't we? Dow's been dropping quite a bit, and the president called this coronavirus a national pandemic. Looks like things are going to get a little interesting. We may get a little spicy in the next couple of weeks and months. How's that going to change the real estate industry? Well, we've still got supply and demand. I have no idea what the Fed's going to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go through each one of these weeks. As I see things changing, I'm going to bring them up to you, let you know, so that you can see the marketplace. I do know that this is going to change the landscape a little bit. Lord help us if we get down to, people need to stay home or stuff needs to shut down, or that'll definitely change the landscape some. And if we get to that point, well, then we'll talk about how we adapt, how we absolutely adapt. But right now, it's the week of March 16th, 2020, and we're just going to show the inventory levels. So we're going to show the market levels in our area as we speak today. Now would be a good time to pay attention because you can see stuff. If you've been following this show, we're creeping up on a 1-year anniversary of this show every week. And as you can see stuff, you can start to see a marketplace. And this blip may be coming from this, well, now what's classified as a pandemic should be shown in the numbers as well. So here we are. Let's talk about real estate in our area. Let's go.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth.
On a mission.
Don't you just want the truth?
All right, so as we do every week, I always start to show off with this slide. It gives us the numbers if that understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about them. It says if you have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, you have a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months is considered a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months is considered a seller's market. What the slide doesn't say, anything greater than 9 months is considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 months is considered a hyper seller's market. So let's take a look at Escambia and Santa Rosa County. Which one is first? Santa Rosa is first. It is the same it's been for a while, except for this 4 to 450. If you noticed last week, this was up. This is up again. It's almost creeping up into a neutral market. So there's a little pocket there where there's not as many buyers. But besides that, under 500,000 is a hyper seller's market. And again, this right here concerns me. 150 to 200. 0.6 months worth of inventory, half a month worth of inventory. If we do not get new inventory, then the April Fool's joke is going to be real. So all of this is hyper sellers, but everything, look at this, everything under 200,000. So that first time home buyer, it's just tough to find in Santa Rosa County right now. It is just tough to find in Santa Rosa County right now. So everything under $500,000 is considered a hyper sellers. Looks like 500 to 550 considered as sellers, and then we skip over neutral and go to buyers between 550 and 600. And I've talked about this before where, look, if you're right at 550, there's a difference in marketing if it's between a seller's market or almost a hyper seller's market and a buyer's market, almost a hyper buyer's market. So if you're right at 550, boy, that is a interesting part right now in Santa Rosa County, just because, again, the marketing is going to be totally different. So we're almost at a hyper buyers on one side. We're almost at a hyper sellers on the other. Depending on your situation, what is your situation? Do you need to sell right now? Is there someplace that we need to get to? Okay, well then we may want to drop down to this one where it's a hyper sellers market and we just get into the 540 range. Can we hold out or we not need to sell? Okay, well maybe we just need to differentiate ourselves when we get to the 560 range. But if you're right at 550, that is a difficult price point right now in Santa Rosa County. 6 to 650 looks like it's almost a hyper buyer's market as well. 650 to 700 is a seller's market, almost a hyper seller's market. That has more to do with inventory, although if you look, a lot of this has to do with inventory because this is our number of actives right here. So 650 to 700 in Santa Rosa County, there's 5. There's 5 properties, that's it. So that has more to do with that. And our luxury, our ultra luxury in Santa Rosa County is 15, so a year and a quarter worth of inventory right there. So there is Santa Rosa County. Let's take a look at Escambia County and see what happened. Just like it has been the last couple of weeks, under 250 hyper sellers. There's not much there. 250 to 300. I know that my property that I had in this price point right here actually came off the market. It went under contract. We had multiple offers. So it's definitely a seller's market. All right. The 350 to 400, we're seeing some new builds coming in the market here, and some people are actually pushing their prices. I've seen a couple of properties that should be listed around 340, 345, up around 370, which may be pushing it a little too hard. But I've seen this price point because I looked at this and wanted to know where it was at. That's where I think that is. But even in Escambia County, everything under $500,000 is a seller's market or a hyper seller's market. As you get above 250, it becomes less of a hyper seller's market and just a seller's market. 500 to 550 is a buyer's market, almost a hyper buyer's market. 550 to 600, over a year's worth of inventory. So there's not many buyers in Escambia County at that price point. Okay, so big difference when we said between 550 or the 550 mark in Santa Rosa County and the 550 mark in Escambia County. And if you're in Santa Rosa, you got to pay attention to that, because at some point, I understand the county's got some draw to it. Santa Rosa County's got some draw to it. One of the biggest draws is the schooling. But at some point, we've got to look at all our competition in the area, and it looks like it's a buyer's market all the way around in Escambia County at 550, either a buyer's or a hyper buyer's. 600 to 650, again, sellers, almost a hyper sellers. And I come back to the same reason I talked about on the other one, where there's not much inventory. It's just 9 months worth of inventory. Or 9 houses, 3.9 months worth of inventory. So there's not just months. 650 to 700, it's a hyper sellers, because anything greater than 9 months is a hyper buyers. And ultra luxury in Escambia County is almost a year's worth of inventory. In Santa Rosa, it was 15 months. This one's almost a year, a little over 11 months. So that's our numbers. Again, with this whole, now what they call a pandemic, I think we're going to see some things change. I think we'll see some of these properties actually come off the market, because there's going to be people that are going to be nervous and they're going to not want to sell right at this moment. But I think there's also going to be some people that need to sell. And I think there's going to be some people that need to buy. So I think that we're going to be an interesting time, and I really encourage you to subscribe to this channel. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, subscribe to this so that you can see and you can follow with me what's going on. I put this information out here just for you to get good raw data so you can make good decisions for you and yours. It's not necessarily if you use me. You don't always, and not everybody that watches this show use me. As a matter of fact, I looked at about 25 people that are subscribed and watch this show every week, and it is other realtors in the area trying to get this information, and that's fine. That's fine. I want this information out there. All right. I don't care if you use another realtor. I would prefer you use me. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I ask for that? I will ask for the business anytime I can get it. But if you wind up making a better decision because of this show and you wind up using someone else, then I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish on this particular show. Stay safe. Things are getting spicy, and I will keep you up to date on how things change in the market, because I have a feeling they're going to be changing very, very rapidly. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there, and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth.
On a mission.
Don't you just want the truth?